All right, so we've got some breaking news. There is yet another boxing match, a high-profile boxing match between two very high-profile mixed martial artists, ex-UFC fighters, and they're going to throw down, and this one will be a rematch. I am, of course, talking about Jorge Gambred Masvidal going up against Nate Diaz, a rematch of the BMF title that they fought for a few years ago at Madison Square Garden. The Rock walked in, provided Jorge Masvidal with the BMF belt, the inaugural BMF belt, which, by the way, is back on the line at UFC 300. Justin Gaethje going up against Max Holloway. But the rematch between Masvidal and Nate Diaz is going to go down June 1st at the Forum, where I won the belt, incidentally. Los Angeles, Inglewood, California, okay? Yeah, so let's get into this. Let's talk about it. So first of all, here is the announcement. Ariel Helwani broke the news. Nathan Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal 2 is a done deal. They will meet June 1st at the Kia Forum in Inglewood, California, in a 10-round, 175-pound light heavyweight boxing match per both camps. Light heavyweight, 175 pounds, kind of makes sense. Obviously, Diaz fought at 170 or 155. Masvidal fought at 170 and 155. The event will be presented by Fanmio pay-per-view, who also promoted Mayweather versus Paul in 2021. The pay-per-view will be available to purchase at fanmio.com pay-per-view, fanmio.com/Masvidal versus Diaz, other way around, for the early pricing of $49.99 until Friday, April 12th, on sale from $79.99. Live event ticket will be announced shortly, and here is the poster. So first of all, fair play to both these men. I hope it is a roaring success. I hope they make a shit ton of money. I'm always down for that, okay? Anytime fighters leave the UFC, I want them to be as successful as possible, okay? This is kind of surprising for me, though. I spoke to Masvidal. You might have saw the interview on the channel last week. And he did say he's trying to box, okay? And he did mention that he was interested in one Darren the Gorilla Till, okay? I thought that rematch made a ton of sense in the boxing world. I'd like to see it. Masvidal seemed open to it. Darren Till was very, very receptive to it as well. But of course, Nathan Diaz, he's a cult-like figure in mixed martial arts, as is Jorge Masvidal. And given the fact that they have history, the first match was very entertaining, even though it was a kind of beat down for Jorge Masvidal. It wasn't a close fight. Let's be honest. And for the most part, it was a boxing match in a mixed martial arts octagon, in the UFC's octagon, okay? I would have liked to see these two throw down in mixed martial arts again, potentially in the UFC, on another MMA promotion. They both have their own promotions. They could have done it in MMA. And it has left a few people scratching their heads saying, well, what's going to be any different? I do think Masvidal has the cleaner boxing, right? It's not a think. It's a fact. He does have cleaner boxing. I think he's faster. I think he's got better technique, and he certainly has more power. Diaz, as we know, is very, very durable. However, the stock has dropped a little bit because obviously he went up against Jake Paul. He got dropped. He didn't seem like he was in the best shape. He didn't seem like he was necessarily motivated. Who knows what went on, but it wasn't the best night at the office for Nate Diaz, or Nathan Diaz, as Ariel Helwani likes to call him all the time. Now, Nate Diaz is not done in the world of combat sports, okay? Just recently, he was calling out all the heavyweights. He said, Francis Ngannou, Deontay Wilder, there was a couple of others on there as well. You're all bums, and I'll take you all out. Words to that effect, okay? That's just Nate Diaz. Just having a laugh, okay? Listen, best of luck to both of these men. Let's have a look what the people on Twitter think about this, because there's some people that are talking a little bit of shit, and mainly on the pricing. Hold on, get that shit out of the way. There we go. $80 pay-per-view, LMAO. Laughing my ass off. Why would anybody want to watch these dudes box? Well, because they are great fighters, right? Don't be a hater. UFC really fumbling with this. How are the UFC fumbling this? Nate gonna mop the floor with Masvidal. Disagree? I do disagree. I think it favors Masvidal all day long. Easy win for Masvidal. Nate can't box. $80 for this. And that is a lot of money. Let's be honest. You know, UFC 300 is round the corner, $79.99. UFC 299 just happened, $79.99. Unless they have a stacked pay-per-view card. Hey, Google, give me an example of a desperate money grab fight. Come on. People are going to hate. People are going to hate. I was just saying there, Jake Paul opened the floodgates. As I say, if this $79.99, that's a lot of dough. They got to have a stacked undercard to kind of warrant that. I think it's a little bit high, but who cares? Maybe the solid fan bases, the hardcore fans of both of these warriors come out and buy it, and they make a lot of money. And I certainly hope they do. It'll be an entertaining fight. I for sure will watch it. I think if you wanted to sell more pay-per-views, $25, $30, that would have been better. I mean, $20, it's not a lot, is it? So therefore, you might get hundreds of thousands of people. $79.99, that's a big ask. Now, we don't know what the undercard's going to be, but it's got to have a decent undercard to provide or to warrant that kind of payment. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, Masvidal, he's in the promotion game. Nate Diaz is in the promotion game, and they have a lot of contacts, and they know a lot of people in the fight game as well. So maybe they do put together a solid, stacked undercard that would make this kind of intriguing, okay? Now, in terms of who I think wins this fight, I've already alluded to it. I've got Masvidal winning this one. He won the first one, okay? The first one was kind of a beatdown. Yeah, it was stopped with a cut, but the cut came because Masvidal was all over him. He was faster, he was more powerful, and he was more technical, like I said before. And I don't see much changing. Now, Nate Diaz is going to try and get back in the win column, okay? And more importantly, for him, he's going to reignite and stoke the flames of that passionate fan base that he has. He's a cult-like figure in MMA. When he choked out Conor McGregor, that's when he rose to massive international superstardom, okay?
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
He was already a cult-like figure, him and his brother. People love the guys, right? They love the Diaz brothers. They love everything about them, their vibe, their gangster attitude, their not giving a okay? Their anti-authority kind of stance. And they've had some incredible performances in the octagon, okay? I'm a huge fan of both of them, okay? So I hope this goes down as a massive success for both men. But let's have a look at the Twitter fan base again, because there's some haters out there, man. There's some people that are dickheads. Jake Paul opened the floodgates. Why is this exciting? Bare knuckle MMA makes more sense. That would have been a fun twist. Here we go. Not watching this joke. $80 is criminal. Well, $80 is a lot. $80, you're joking, right? It should be in MMA gloves. I mean, that's a good point to consider, isn't it? This is going to be boxing. Nate Diaz isn't a bad striker, but he's a better jiu-jitsu guy, and he's a far better mixed martial artist. Not that he's a particularly strong wrestler, but if he does get the fight to the ground, if he can knock you down, drag you down, just get on top of you or get a hold of you, okay? His jiu-jitsu is top of the food chain. That's going to be eliminated. The kicking game, that's not really a strong point of Diaz, so that's not going to matter. The wrestling game isn't exactly the strongest either. He's a boxer with jiu-jitsu, but not the best boxer, not the fastest, not the quickest. And the version that we saw against Jake Paul, he was a bit out of shape as well. He struggled a little bit, and he did hit the canvas. Masvidal, there was footage of him recently looking like he put on about 300 pounds, looking big and porky. But if you saw the interview, he said that was Photoshop.
And I think them motherfuckers went and, did the whole little car wash to the clip and made me look 300 pounds, but it's all good. It's better for me. Because then I don't even got to be skinny. I just got to look like regular. And people are like, holy smokes, you're in great shape, man.
And if you did see the interview, you would see that Masvidal looking lean, looking mean, looking clean, riding around in the Mercedes G-Wagon with the Versace shirt on, and he looked healthy. He looked happy. He looked like he was ready to go, and it turns out June 1st, they will be throwing down. So there it is, a bit of breaking news. Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal in a boxing match June 1st at the Kia Forum for $79.99. What do you think about all of that? As I said, I got Masvidal winning that one, but it'll be entertaining. It'll be a good build-up. It'll be a good throwback. The hardcore fan base, the old school fan base of mixed martial arts and the UFC gives them something to get excited about, even if there's a few dickheads on Twitter hating, but that's what people do. They love to talk shit about other people's accomplishments, other people's business ventures, and that's exactly what this is. This is a business venture, two people trying to make the most out of the skills that they were given. So for that, I say best of luck to both of them. Have a fantastic camp, and I, for one, I will be watching. Anyway, that's all I've got time for right now. I got to go. I got UFC fighter meetings. Tai Tuivasa going down this weekend, taking on Marcin Tybura. So I've got to speak to all the fighters. I've got to interview them. Wherever you are in the world, have a fantastic day. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this announcement, what you think about the price, and who do you think wins. Anyway, that's it. Subscribe and ring the bell. I'll see you soon.